veritasium we're gonna be watching today, and it's about some musical instrument that this musical instrument took eons to make. Let's watch it together and let's see why this musical instrument took eons, like crazy amount of time, unlimited kind of time to make. And yeah, how this happened and how this finally music instrument got made.
There is a limestone cave in Western Virginia where one of its giant chambers has been turned into a musical instrument. They call it an organ, but it's like no other organ on the planet. It relies on electromechanical mallets, steel bolts, electric guitar pickups, and the main vibrating material, limestone. It's more technically referred to as a lithophone, the only one of its kind in the world, but people around here just call it the organ. So Veritasium producer Peter went to check it out.
We're going on the ground, let's go. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of this place?
Luray Caverns, discovered 1878, and in fact, to your right is where they first came in.
Oh, no way.
On August 13th, 1878, a group of hunters felt a cool breeze coming from a small hole in the ground. Putting down their rifles, they began to dig, making a hole big enough for the smallest of them to fit through. Andrew and Quint had only a candle for light as they lowered themselves down into the hole. They spent the next few months exploring. They kept finding giant caverns connected by narrow passageways. The ceilings and floors were covered in stalactites and stalagmites. They even found an underground lake. The cave system they had accidentally stumbled upon turned out to be the largest in the eastern United States, covering 26 hectares. It's now known as the Luray Caverns, and it's visited by 500,000 tourists each year.
Oh, wow.
That's Dream Lake.
How still that water is and the reflection is just...
Yeah, that's crazy.
The organ is at one of the lower areas.
Okay.
It's in a room called the Cathedral, a very large room.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they used to have dances down there, balls. They used to call it the ballroom before the organ was put in.
Oh, no way. So in the 1920s, people would go down here and have balls and dances. And
well, it was no
shindigs.
It was a great place because it's air conditioned, basically, naturally.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh my God, are you kidding me? No way.
Wow.
Oh, this is so gorgeous. And there's the control panel for the organ.
That's the organ. You're actually inside the organ right now. The organ covers 3.5 acres.
Okay.
All the notes are scattered out around us. Of course, this was started in 1954, first played in 1957.
Okay. So it took 3 years to get from...
Yes.
Welcome to the beautiful caverns of Luray in Luray, Virginia. And particularly
He's gonna play it,
the
right?
great stalacpipe organ, which is located in this great cathedral-like structure, which is 260 feet below the surface. This organ is so huge that you stand not before it, but within it.
In 1954, while on a tour of the caverns for his son's birthday, Leland Sprinkle, a mathematician who worked at the Pentagon, had an idea. See, during the tour, the guide walked around with a small mallet. He would occasionally hit a stalactite, producing a musical tone. This was the start of Sprinkle's 3-year project to turn the cave into a musical instrument.
Since you asked for it, we shall be most happy to show you how we make music from the ancient stalactites around us.
What he did is he walked around these caverns with a ladder and climbing equipment and little mallets and little tuning forks, and he would hit on stalactites. And then when there was one that was close enough to concert pitch that he wanted, he'd take a disc grinder and grind off the stalactite until it came to the pitch that he wanted. So this one should be middle C.
Stalactites form very slowly. In this cave, they grow at around 16 cubic centimeters every 120 years. The rate is dependent on the amount of water that flows. So some stalactites grow quickly, while others don't really grow at all. They form as slightly acidic water flows through the ground. It dissolves the limestone and then redeposits it when it comes in contact with the air. As the water drips to the ground, it can also deposit the limestone on the floor, leading to a stalagmite.
True.
Sometimes over thousands of years, the stalactite and stalagmite can fuse together, forming a column. If you tap on a stalactite, then like a tuning fork, it vibrates at its resonant frequency. That frequency depends on the size and shape of the stalactite. Bigger stalactites make lower notes. And it also depends on the elastic modulus of the material. In this case, it's all limestone. So to adjust the resonant frequencies, Sprinkle shaved a bit off the end of some stalactites, putting them into concert pitch. The organ wasn't connected to the console when we visited, so Peter didn't get a chance to play it. But Rob Scallon, who has a great YouTube channel, made a video about it a couple years ago. We asked him what it's like to play a cave.
It's hard to describe the feeling of playing a cave. It's very grounding, very surreal, very beautiful. You know, if I'm being romantic about it, you can hear the eons and eons and eons of time that were needed to create this thing.
Yeah, that's true. Now it makes sense why it took eons to make it, you know?
The cave is, of course, huge. And all the notes are in different places.
Yeah.
So some are further away, some are closer.
Yeah.
Some are amplified near you, some aren't. And I love reverb. And the amount of reverb in this room is just so
makes
immense,
sense.
and the notes are so pure and beautiful, and they're in different places, so they have different reverb. It's a very hauntingly beautiful type of sound.
Like back, side, here, maybe in front of you, all around the place.
As you can see, there's also the solenoid that is basically a mallet.
After the tuning has been completed, we design a custom-built bracket to which we attach an electrically operated plunger. This plunger, with its rubber tip, strikes the stalactite, causing it to vibrate.
Since different musical stalactites are far away from each other and their volume variable, Sprinkle amplified the vibrations. He could have used microphones, but in the 1950s, those weren't particularly robust. So instead, he borrowed an idea from a piece of technology invented in the 1930s, the electric guitar pickup.
Okay.
A guitar pickup is a coil of wire wrapped around a magnet. When a steel guitar string vibrates near it, it interacts with the magnetic field, which induces a current in the wire. It doesn't work with non-metal guitar strings. The thing that's vibrating needs to be ferromagnetic. Sprinkle added a steel bolt to each of his musical stalactites and then used a pickup to detect the vibrations. These signals are amplified, mixed, and played back through speakers.
Damn, bro was
You also
doing
gotta
all kind of
consider weight to the
full-on
voltage
mixing and producing there, bro.
Right. Yeah.
But the guitar pickups created an unexpected problem: radio interference.
I don't know exactly how it works, but one of the keys was picking up a local radio station, which actually turned it into a sampler. It was a really fun part of the video and actually sounded pretty cool. That happens with electronic instruments sometimes, even caves.
It happens every time I hit that key. I'm turning on the radio.
It is. You're getting an FM signal. You're getting.
Oh my gosh.
That is what it is. You're getting an FM signal off that key.
So the radio is here. I thought, is that a human voice? Is that
That would be the AM radio.
Yeah.
AM station across the street.
Oh, wow.
If they were tuned in, 1957, have they become longer and hence gone out of tune?
Well, he tried to pick stalactites that are inactive, that aren't growing anymore, is what he tried to do.
But if he found stalactites that were growing, because I'm seeing a little bit of water, right?
Yeah,
There's
and you'll see
a
that.
little bit of growth happening.
Right, and you'll see that, and that comes and goes.
But how did he know it will stop growing or not?
I love the idea that there's an organ that could grow out of tune.
It could.
Because of how stalactites grow.
I don't think it'll be in my lifetime, but it could.
But if he chose a bunch that weren't inactive,
Right.
it would be out of tune already.
Oh yeah, if they were completely active, it would be.
That's so cool.
It's very mad scientist. He definitely couldn't get away with it now. Like going into a place like this and then just starting to shave off the stalactites that took eons to be created by nature. Thankfully, it stays in tune because they can't continue shaving off the parts of this cave.
This is just such a strange and beautiful and kind of insane project to take this gorgeous cavern and make it even more beautiful by turning it into a musical instrument.
This
That's really crazy.
structure has been being created drop by drop for an unfathomable amount of years. And that's pretty awe-inspiring.
I was like, what instrument can be made like from this kind of stuff, you know? And took eons and eons to make, like took years and years and like infinite time to make, you can say, you know? Like all that water coming down and stopping because of air hitting it, and then, you know, taking all the time. And look how big that cave is, dude. And that guy, I mean, first of all, those soldiers kind of explored it, and then that guy, I don't know it was the same person or not, but yeah, that guy was like, oh, let me turn into this whole kind of you know, my studio, bro. And he made all that like a piano thing and connected all the wires, all that system to it that would hit it and it would make the noise, and different of them, different of those shape would have different kind of pitch, different kind of sound. So he would kind of, you know, cut them right at the bottom, which he thought would stop, the one which are stopped growing, he would just cut them off and change the pitch of it and all that. Bro, that's crazy. Honestly, that's really good, really cool, and really good that how this whole place was like kind of converted into kind of instrument, you know. Really insane, honestly, and took so many years. And it's really good to know that many, like 500,000 people go there every year to explore it as a tourist, you know, go there. And I had no idea this thing really existed, dude. But yeah, really cool. Like it's kind of a you know, like a kind of a material, natural material, which is kind of converted into a musical instrument. That's kind of insane. But really good video from Veritasium that the guy from their team went there and actually showed us around, and the guy who was lucky enough to able to play that thing, dude. That's really cool. But yeah, overall very nice video. And yeah, that's it from the Veritasium video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.